Hello everyone, it's Susan from SusanWinter.net. Thanks for stopping by my channel, I really appreciate it. And for those of you who have subscribed, mwah, thank you, thank you. So I'm continuing with your questions today. This one is about ghosting. It's from Jim. Jim, great question, really appreciate this. Okay, so here we go. Jim writes, why is ghosting someone almost a socially acceptable means of breaking up with someone by the year 2019? Although I'd still be very sad about being dumped after 8 months of dating when I was clearly happy with her, I could deal much better with being told straight up rather than a complete disappearance and finding out on social media that she'd met someone else. What happened to integrity? Jim, you're just saying what we are all thinking. And you're right, integrity. I think if you look at the history of everything I've done here, I am constantly trying to reinforce what is normal, healthy behavior. And forgive the word normal, but you know what I mean by that. What is acceptable protocol for an individual when they are involved with somebody else? And even more specifically, how can you identify something that is acceptable behavior that you don't like from unacceptable behavior that you shouldn't even try to like or understand, okay? So there is never an excuse for a lack of empathy or diplomacy or tact. I mean, I don't have the history here because it's a few lines, but it sounds like you were blindsided by this, which means that you were not given ongoing complaints about, hey, listen, Jim, I told you to do this. Jim, you didn't call me. I told you I need Friday night dates. You didn't do that. So it sounds as though your partner simply tired of the venture, and I don't mean tired of you, but tired of whatever, and decided to bail without so much as the character of person to stand behind her choice and tell you to your face, which would require character, integrity, and power, personal power. You know, nobody wants to put themselves in the line of fire to be bad or wrong, but an escape artist, 8 months? That's no way to break up. You don't do this, but Jim, you're not the first that I have heard this from. This is what's frightening me. It's not acceptable in 2019. It would not be acceptable in 2000. It won't be acceptable in 2025. It's not acceptable. We don't do this to people. You know why? We have alternatives, and they're viable alternatives. Talk. You don't, listen, text message is bad. It's better than a Post-it note. That's the old joke from Sex and the City. The guy breaks up with a Post-it note on her computer. But, you know, at least you've communicated this. I know it's cold, but after 8 months, no, that deserves a phone call, even an email saying, at least say, I'm so uncomfortable having this discussion. Forgive me for doing it by an email. And I know it seems cold and that's not my intention. For God's sake, people don't need to destroy a human being just when they're done with them. There is no excuse for that. So here's what we need to all know. When we see abnormal behavior, meaning it's outside polite society, it is outside the protocol of what we know to be a normal, healthy form of interaction, we need to call it out. You don't accept it. Nobody's going to accept it. We have to be very clear. And I don't know how many weeks ago this was, but, you know, it's a shame that this lady didn't have more integrity and character to simply say, hey, it's not working out for me. At 8 months, she owed you that. She owed you that at a month and a half. So communication like this is something that we need to do to continue to call out something that is not correct. If we ignore those parts of life that we keep letting happen to us and saying, oh, somebody should do something about it, no, we're the ones. on every level, on every social front. We have to call out when we know that we are in our right to just have humane treatment of each other. We need to be as gentle as possible because love is a very rough sport. Okay, it's like Aussie rules football. It's just like fast and furious and like this, and it goes back and forth. And you don't know who's got the ball from second to second. So it requires us to be digging deep into the better part of ourselves. It is important that we make a statement, and I think that's maybe, Jim, why you're upset, because you haven't had your closure. So if you want to craft a statement to her, something as simple as, I was saddened to discover that you had decided to move on through ghosting. You ghosted me and chose somebody else, and tell her the truth. I would have preferred you simply told me to my face. Not that I would have liked it, but I would have respected it. And I wanted to respect you. So whatever the verbiage is for you, just know that we need to say something. And also, when you're tempted to be nasty back, you can have a little bite to it, but if you're going to tell somebody to be in right order, you can't then go and be in bad order when you tell them to. You got to still come from your higher source when you're doing this, all right? So thank you, everyone that's writing me. I love reading this stuff, and I love the participation. Those of you that are calling me on Magnify, my on-demand app that I love so much. It's really great to talk to you. It's always somebody new. You're from all over the world. It's so exciting. Thank you, all of those that are coming to my consultation page, because, as you know, some things are far too complicated to answer just in one video, and I get a lot of video requests. And if you prefer to listen instead of watch these, tune into the Susan Winter Show on iTunes. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.